Hello and welcome. This is a QB rating video. Let's talk about the NFL quarterbacks, how they rank them, and how I rank them. I came up with this ranking system on September the 21st, 2012. And that's a year later when QBR came out, which is the QB rating here. This is the traditional one and my rating, which indicates these three factors. It's the movement score plus the scoring plus turnovers. For myself, movement is a very, very simple calculation. It's yards per play. And what's a play? Well, play is a pass attempt, it's a carry, as well as a sack. And those are the plays where the quarterback gets involved. And the yards is, well, passing yards plus rushing yards. Subtract the yards you lose via sack. So every time a computer quarterback has a play, what's the average yards on those situations? Scoring. This represents just rushing and passing touchdowns into place. Really nothing more, nothing less. And turnovers indicates how many fumbles and interceptions you have. Again, over the allowed number of plays. And my calculation's off because it doesn't equate for no turnovers, which there's one player on here that's got that nature, which is ranked number one, Matt Moore. He'll be number one until he throws one. So right now, Russell Wilson is the best quarterback at protecting the ball in the NFL, according to my estimates. And so that's how that goes. So just a quick look, and these are not exact because at least the bottom one isn't correct because that times 40 isn't needed. But this in here, I take rushing yards, passing yards, and sacks. I just take the average and I multiply it by 6.5. This one here, touchdowns divided by plays, multiply 1,000. And here, I didn't need to multiply 40. But I just put this in and it worked because these are the numbers that come in for turnover scores. We're in the 30s. And the first time that I did the spreadsheet, called QB ratings, this is who the quarterbacks were back then. So the poor quarterbacks, we had Russell Wilson back then. Oh, look at that, 86. Obviously at the tops, RG3 was at 152 in the early part of that season. We had Sam Bradford, Alex Smith. Oh, Ryan was playing well. Kevin Cobb. Oh, I haven't heard that name in a while. Mark Sanchez, butt fumble guy. Okay, so the stats in here. Okay, that's what they looked like before. So back onto this. So the statistics in here, I got these stats from the internet that they didn't have. I couldn't get the ones with the rushing yards and which I put in here. There's carries, yards, touchdown, fumble losses. This works out to my QB rating number. Russell Wilson I got at 157.97. And the lowest is Josh Rose. Actually, Luke Falk is 53.34. So these quarterbacks have just been terrible. Josh Rosen, Luke Falk, Ben Roethlisberger, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Cam Newton, Eli Manning. So then, back to these ratings. So ratings for the top ones: Wilson, Cousins, Mahomes, Schaub, Tannehill, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Drew Brees, Matthew Stafford, Derek Carr, Dak Prescott, Jacoby Brissett, Matt Moore, Teddy Bridgewater, Gardner Minshew, Matt Ryan, Mason Rudolph, Chase Daniel, Tom Brady. 19 on the traditional list. I'm at 11 though. So hey, he's working out pretty well. And I think he's been okay, but I'm a little concerned with his game coming up against Baltimore. But that's short term. And anyway, Case Keenum, Lamar Jackson, Carson Wentz, and then the list going down lower. So let's sort this now. Take a look at the QBR rating, which would be a C on the column for me. So they have Matt Schaub at number one. I have Matt Schaub at number 20, which is going to be interesting. And the reason why is because he's done very well at moving the ball, but he doesn't score it and he does create a lot of turnovers. But he is number one in my movement skill, so he is efficiently moving the ball. Dak Prescott number two. Then we have Patrick Mahomes at three. I have him at two. Russell Wilson at four on the QBR. Both me and the regular rating have him at number one. Deshaun Watson five. I got him at 10, as he has ninth in scoring, 10th in movement, and 15th in turnovers. Drew Brees, I got ranked number 3, but QBR here is 6. Number 1 in scoring for Drew Brees. Lamar Jackson at 7. Look at the big difference compared to regular rating and mine. 21 on the regular rating and 14 on mine. Matthew Stafford at 8. We're all close in that same area here. Carson Wentz, Chase Daniel, and then so on and so forth. We can see Mason Rudolph, there's a big discrepancy within mine. I have number 8. And for that, he has been number 3 in scoring. So Mason Rudolph has been able to manage to get the ball in the end zone. Now, what's interesting about the scoring, it's not advanced. For if you have a team with a running back that just rushes a lot of your drives in, that's going to hurt the quarterback stats. So, I mean, it's still not the greatest of statistics, no matter which one you go with. The more you put into it, the more advanced that it's going to be. And let's do my ratings now. So Russell Wilson, I have number 1, followed by Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees, Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, number 5. He's having a good year. Matthew Stafford at 6. And these are guys you expect to be at the top, Aaron Rodgers and Mason Rudolph. And I got him at number 8. So within the statistics, Mason Rudolph is right here. 8 runs for 19 yards, no touchdowns, no fumbles lost. 83 for 130 for 897 yards. 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So I mean, those are definitely relatively good stats. I gotta think that he deserves so far. That Matt Moore early stages, I got him at number 9. Matt Moore. Let's try to find him here. 3 runs for 1 yard, no fumbles, no touchdowns running, and 34 56. So he's got the least amount of completions to qualify. 384 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. So off to a good start, but obviously once Patrick Mahomes gets back in the lineup, he's at the top of everybody's list, and for good reason. And then below that, Deshaun Watson, Tom Brady. I got 11. They got 14 and 19. What's Tom Brady done? Let's find his statistics in here, right here. 14 runs for 3 yards and 3 touchdowns. So a lot of -1 runs and 1 yard touchdown runs as well. One fumble loss. 200 of 309 for 2251. So his yards per completion and attempt isn't the greatest, but 13 to 4 touchdown interception ratio is very solid. And he's been sacked 13 times for 93 yards, so he hasn't hit the ground too often. Somewhere decent on that as well. So we got Carson Wentz, Jacoby Brissett, Lamar Jackson, Ryan Tannehill, Matt Ryan, Derek Carr, Teddy Bridgewater, Gardner Minshew. Not doing anything fantastic. So once Nick Foles comes back in the lineup, because these statistics aren't too great, I don't think he deserves to stay in my opinion. Matt Schaub, Jimmy G, not really showing great. I mean, it's not doing too good. We have 23, 15, and 21, and then in these statistics here, 15, 19, and 36. So he's doing really bad in what turnovers. So he's not protecting the ball. He's not really great at scoring, and he's nothing fantastic as far as getting the ball down the field either. Philip Rivers, Case Keenum, Jared Goff. I was bearish on him coming into the year. Everyone's got, and I got the best rating on him at 24 compared to the 27 and the 30. We got somebody who's 12th in movement, 27 in scoring, and 29th in turning. So he's turning the ball over a lot. Then we got Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota. Quarterbacks that just got to go in a sense. Chase Daniel, Daniel Jones. He's a young up and coming star for him. Daniel Jones in the early going, 30th in ball movement, 16 in scoring, and 40th in. I mean, he's just terrible at not holding on to. And that was a big thing coming in, as fumbles and interceptions. So has been the case. And but it's his rookie season, so you gotta give the 1 year leeway. It could be really bad. Second year, it might not be great, but improvement can happen. But your third year, it's supposed to be good. Josh Allen, what's he in a second, I think, year now? But Obviously, his statistics are not good. I mean, 33, 24th, and 33rd on the right hand side. Consistency 29 to 33 on the ratings here. Kyler Murray, the rookie, so same thing as far as being a rookie. The QBR has him at 11. Big difference is the rating in mine. I have him though, but what he's done very well at is hanging on the ball, fifth in the league. But he's not getting that. He's not scoring. Again, is there any times the running backs have been able to hurt that stat? That's possible. That's why you'd use advanced statistics. But and then there's other ones like fourth down and short situations and evaluating the importance of one situation or another for an advanced formula to do this. I mean, mine is really basic. But it gets the job done to get all these categories together. And then 28th against for movement, so he's not getting many yards. Kyle Allen in his early play, nothing fantastic here as well. Andy Dalton is just consistent in the 32-34 number, but not playing well. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Baker Mayfield, 41st on this list. So if we sort this now by the categories, which we'll do movement next, and Matt Schaub, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott. I mean, just a small sample size for players like Schaub, and uh, but Mahomes is the best at like yards per play guy. And then it's Dak Prescott. Kirk Cousins is getting the job done for that. I mean, he's having a fantastic season, fourth, sixth, and 13th amongst these numbers. Matthew Stafford getting good yards. Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers, Philip Rivers. Derek Carr maybe having a good season for that list, but guys you expect up there. Tom Brady, again, not getting a lot of those screenplays. He's more of a game manager. Drew Brees, if anything, that's a surprise that he's 17th on that list. But Luke Falk, Josh Rosen, these guys are just not moving the ball down the field. Cam Newton, if he comes back from injury, his statistics are terrible. Wanting to bet against him or fade him is something I'll be looking to do when he comes back from injury. So those are the bottom end quarterbacks for that. As far as on the scoring side is concerned, let's take a look at that. Column AG is next. Drew Brees again for he has got limited playing time as well because of the injury. Russell Wilson is getting it done. He's playing all year. Mason Rudolph extremely low amount of time as well, but not really. He's getting a few games in, and that only increase as the season goes on. But he's been able to. Uh, I mean, maybe the lack of running touchdowns is the reason why that's so high too. But Stafford, Mahomes, Cousins, Prescott, Brissett, Deshaun Watson. So you got the good list of quarterbacks at the bottom. Falk, Newton. I mean, Newton doesn't even have a rushing touchdown this year, and he hasn't got. I don't think he's got like more than a yard or something. He's just not running the ball in his 3 games, which is all it's been. And then Josh Rosen, Roethlisberger, Flacco, Manning, and Trubisky. Those guys are not scoring. As far as who's been the best at holding and the worst, as far as hold, like this is sacks and interceptions combined. Excuse me, not sacks, but turn fumbles and interceptions combined. So Matt Moore hasn't had it. He hasn't had one, so he's number one. And when he gets one, he'll just move to whatever level on that list. Maybe he'll go third, fourth, fifth, after depending on how many plays he gets to. But Russell Wilson is the best at protecting the ball. Bridgewater, I mean, they say he was the best backup on the market, and he protected the ball amazingly during the time when he had to play. Marcus Mariota, that's about the only thing he's done right. Kyler Murray, again, same thing for him. Patrick Mahomes, everything he excels at. Aaron Rodgers, the fact that he's seventh, you could say, is pretty bad. Tom Brady, you know what? Given his 42-year-old age, I think number 8 is respectable. Roethlisberger, Lamar Jackson, Carson Wentz, Trubinsky. So these are the mid-tier guys: Kirk Cousins, Tannehill, Watson, Rudolph. As far as protecting, now we're going into the below-average players in Stafford, Brissett, Minshew. Drew Brees has not protected it this year so far. We'll see now with more sample size if he can improve upon such. Dak Prescott, not nothing too good in here, and this is why he's not number one on my or two on my QBR rating. Still gets number 4, despite the fact he's number 21 and not protecting it. Joe Flacco, Philip Rivers, Chase Daniel. So now we're getting to the bottom end of people with like Cam Newton. Matt Ryan is just throwing a lot of interceptions this year. Jared Goff, Eli Manning, Case Keenum. Then we got some starters going on like Jimmy Garoppolo, Luke Falk, and then Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold at the bottom. Uh, and what's interesting is a lot of these guys at the bottom are teams that play New England. Sam Darnold has played them twice. Or did he play him twice? Once or twice? Maybe once. Once. He played him once. Baker Mayfield played him once. Daniel Jones played him once. Ryan Fitzpatrick played him once. Jameis Winston didn't play him. Luke Falk played him once. Jimmy G hasn't played him, and the only way they can play him is in the Super Bowl. No, he's Kyle Allen. He played, or Josh Allen, excuse me, that he played. Didn't play Kyle Allen. And this week he's going to be up against that of Baltimore's quarterback, which is okay. Why am I getting a blank on my head? I can just look at all the list here. Patrick Mahomes of the Baltimore Ravens. That's no Patrick. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. Lamar Jackson, 10th in turnovers. So I mean, he's solid there. So finally, a formidable offense. He's going to have to go up against Patrick Mahomes. Should be back from injury for that game. He's going to have to play him. Who else has he got? Doesn't have Seattle. Doesn't have Green Bay. I mean, this New England defense could get a whole bunch more turnovers that they, at least from quarterback turnovers, because they don't have any good sample of top tier quarterbacks that they're playing against, at least other than Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson's the next best on the list. So those are your statistics for the top quarterback in the NFL. Take care. Bye bye.